All right, everybody, we're back. You know that the theme is I'm trying to have super selfish conversations. I'm trying to make a boatload of money. Drew already makes a boatload of money, so he's helping me on. Drew, thank you so much for coming out here, bro. I'm so excited to talk to you. I was already explaining the elevator a little bit, but I've been talking about this nonstop. I've been super jacked up. And for those that don't follow Drew, if you don't follow Drew already, you're an idiot. Follow Drew. Drew, how do they follow you? What do you join?
All the places. Facebook, search Drew Farnese. Instagram, I'm terrible on Instagram, but I think it's still just Drew Farnese on there. TikTok, whatever. All the places. YouTube.
Hell yeah, there we go. So, Doug, I know that you have a bag and wholesale operation. I know that you have a whole big setup. Bro, I want to learn about it. I want to kind of learn about I want to learn about your business.
Yeah, man.
I'm fucking interested as hell. I know you have from my understanding, you don't just wholesale. I know you flip also.
Yep.
So I want to fucking hear about it.
Love-hate relationship with flipping, but where do you want to go? Where do you want to steer? Because we can go into the wholesale, scaling, marketing, flipping, whatever.
That's what I want to talk about. So I don't know if you know much of my. I'm sure you don't know too much about me, but
I know a good bit. Yeah. I watch some of your stuff, man. I watch.
Thank you, dog. But dude, I didn't start wholesaling until the end of 2020, and I just treated it like I didn't have a ton of people that had. I didn't know any people that had businesses that were making a ton of money. So I only looked at it as a trade, and I'd only been kind of an employee. So I was just doing it as a trade. I didn't try to make a business out of it until 22. And it was like midway through 22, and then the market changed, and then I got all this money coming out and no money in. I couldn't do it. I fucking backtracked because bro, it's not that complicated to do it as a trade. If you can't do like one to three deals a month, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, even if they're not bangers, you got to be pretty dumb. So
the consistency is where a lot of people get hung up, though, right? Because I was just talking to a guy the other day. He's like, yeah, I started on my own and everything, and I did 3 deals my first year, and one of them I made 40 grand. The other one I made 5, and the other I made 2. But the rest of the year I didn't do anything, so I stopped. It's like that consistency is hard for a lot of people.
That's true. You're right. Well, it's not that it's easy. It's just so fucking simple. It is
right. It really is when you boil it down.
But if you're managing people or you're trying to scale, I guess it's simple in a way, but it's a lot less simple than just doing it as a trade. And it's a lot less stress. So 2023, I started making a business out of it. I'm a little bit scaled out, but I know that you're super scaled out. So I kind of want to learn how you scaled it out. Dude, give me some fucking game. How do you scale the sucker out? What are your best marketing platforms? Maybe you could help guide me as far as I'm looking to increase my marketing budget a little bit. Like maybe help guide me the right path as far as where I'm spending this fucking money. It's like all this money out. I want to make sure I'm spending it right.
Yeah, right. Well, look, I mean, you're talking to all the right people and everything. Like I said, I was just watching the one that you and Phil did the other week.
Yeah, these are selfish conversations, bro. I love it. I want to have a 7-figure wholesale business, and I have to talk to people that have 7-figure wholesale businesses if I want that,
So you did start doing PPC?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Okay. Not yet. Okay. I did a discovery call with the Bateman Group.
Yeah.
And they told me that I needed to be spending at least 10 racks a month. And for me to spend 10 racks a month and not be super stressed out, bro, I need to have like 60 G's and I'm ready to, that's what they, and they told me the same thing. I need to have 60 G's and I'm just ready to burn and not even care. And it may take me 6 months to see anything out of it. And I'm not there yet. I'm not embarrassed to say it, but I'm working towards that.
Yeah, look, I mean, for what it's worth, like I ran pay-per-click once, like 3 years ago on my own, self-managed and everything. And I ended up doing like 2 or 3 deals out of it, but it took time to actually manage the campaign and everything. And my attention was being pulled in other directions, so I kind of fell off, right? Fast forward like another year and a half, I got hooked up with Bateman also and started running pay-per-click with them because in my mind, I was like, if me, some dumb idiot, was able to run pay-per-click and have results out of it, somebody that manages big budgets for like all the top players in the country like this is going to work.
Going to be exactly.
Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way. I think I ran with them I pulled the plug probably pretty early. It was probably 4 or 5 months into it, but I dumped whatever 30 grand in ad spend. And man, it was like at that same time, I can't say that it's a fault of theirs. A lot of it was a fault of kind of what seemed like it was going on in the market with pay-per-click. Like the amount of fake fucking leads and everything. Like things were coming in all the time. And, you know, we would call the people like within, 60 seconds or less or whatever. And they're like, no, I didn't fill out a form. So it was like, it was a real address. It was a real name. It was a real phone number, but these people legitimately weren't filling it out. So it makes you wonder, like, is it other big players in the industry that are trying to dilute like your ad spend and everything? It could be a thing. Could be a thing. I don't know.
Okay.
But I pulled the plug on that. I didn't do very well with pay-per-click. But my main thing has always been direct mail.
Man, don't even tell me this. Everyone keeps telling me, Nikki, do the mail. I just started, so I'm just getting my feet wet with the mail.
What are you sending?
Postcards. Is that
postcards?
Crazy?
Okay. No. Dude, I've sent millions of postcards.
You have.
I love postcards.
Tell me about mail.
Dude, one of our biggest mailers was the Third Notice postcard that everybody knows what it is. Everybody hates it.
What's that?
It's basically a colorful postcard with just black ink on it, and on it in big letters it says Third Notice. Yeah, same thing.
You're sure?
Well, we sent a lot of them, and there's actually a method to the madness of why I like that campaign so much in a lot of ways. I mean, so one of the best things about it is like, all right, with anything postcard related, it's the cheapest mail piece that you can send, right? And since that is a really applicable piece to a wide demographic, right? With some of our mailings that we do, it's a more targeted list, and you're really trying to customize your message to your demographic and everything. With that, it's just kind of like shotgun approach. I'm going to send this to literally every absentee owner, every high equity owner, everything, right?
Okay.
And that's one of my ways that we kind of clean our mailing list before we start sending letters or any sort of higher dollar piece. Because even when you do skip trace, and even when you do clean your Excel files before sending them to the mail house, it's like we still always average like a 10% return rate on that mail, all the bounces and everything, which that's another nugget. They call that the golden address when you get the return to sender, because those are the ones that nobody else is putting in the legwork. It was returned to you, so the mail address was no good. Most people are just like, okay, throw that out. The real gold is in taking those that you get returned to you and then skip tracing them and finding phone numbers, stuff like that. Find social media profiles, because nobody else is putting in that work to reach that seller.
Bro, that's fucking smart as hell.
Yep.
I have a bunch that got mailed back to me.
Yep.
I'm not gonna
skip trace them. Yeah.
I threw them away already.
Oh man,
No. But I just dropped my second round of mail, so I'm dropping it on these people every 2 weeks.
Good. Who are you mailing through?
Batch.
Okay.
I do everything through batch, for the most part. So
it's funny, man, because we developed an entire like internal process around return mail, because every week we would get 100, 200, 500 returns based on how many we dropped. And we literally bought like a scanner that automatically you put everything through, and it would spit out the address, put it in an Excel file so we could send it off to skip trace. And we were doing that for years. And then I learned, because I'm an idiot, that the mail house that we were using, clicktomail.com, they fucking provide you with that already. So I had like my assistant every week scanning mail and putting it into a file, and it's like they already give it to you. I just didn't know, You got to click a lot of buttons to find it, but now I know.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go out to these, bro. Thank you for the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so so you're saying the initial postcard that you're sending out, you're sending out to all the lists.
Pretty much a shotgun.
All the lists.
Yep.
So you don't care at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not everybody, but like some form of it. Yeah. Which I've done that too, and there's no value to it. I didn't even think there would be, but a friend of mine owned another marketing company, and he's like, I want to try this with a piece. Will you do it? And I hit every house in Brew Mall, and it was funny, man, because I went to a Wawa in that Brew Mall like a couple weeks after I dropped this mailer, and a couple people were looking at me, and one guy's like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, yeah. I'm basically famous here now. It kind of looked like a wedding invitation type of mailer. So
okay, it was your photo?
Yeah.
Bro, I just didn't. So my first round, I did a house. I did their house.
Okay.
So I also have
How'd that go?
You know what? Bro, I didn't do super great on my first bat, like my first job. I didn't get a ton of callbacks, but I also cold called that list as well.
Okay.
And I listened to some of the calls, and they were like, "Yeah, you guys dropped mail on us." So this round I just sent out, dude, it put me and my lady and my kid, all Eagles out, like the super Philly, you know.
Yep.
So hopefully that'll be better.
There you go. That's the thing, man. It's like, I'm sure you already see, you've had a lot of conversations with a lot of guys and everything that are crushing it. One of the funniest things, like I'm in Collective Genius, so I'm always connecting with other top dudes around the country and everything. And it's so funny how you can hear like one guy is crushing it with something, and you talk to 10 other people that literally took, because it's like, oh, you're my boy. Like, you literally laid out for me what to do and how to do it. And I applied it the same way that you do, and it doesn't fucking work. It's like, it's not always replicatable, so it leads you to wonder, like, is some of course some of it has to do with your area of expertise and your weakness, your team or your lack thereof, but still, like, it's kind of crazy that a lot of guys that have a seemingly similar operation, and what works for you doesn't work for me, and vice versa. It's really weird.
Of course, it's funny who excels at certain, because I feel that I talked to all y'all, and y'all are all doing the same type of marketing for the most part, minus like one or two things, but like everybody really does excel at one
thing. Yeah.
So for you, it's mail.
Yep. It's funny, man. With Phil, I think I told this story. I think when he was on my podcast.
Yeah, about the texting. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I listened to all your
shit. It was brutal. It was, you know, like I helped him set it up when he joined the mastermind group that we were a part of. And I was talking to him one day, like a couple years later, and we're talking about, he's like, oh yeah, how's your return on ad spend on some of the mail you're doing? I'm telling him, like, oh yeah, my one campaign, like that third notice at the time, it was around, I don't know, it was like a 6 to 8x return on ad spend. I'm like, oh, how's texting going for you, bro? And he's like, oh, you know, it's pretty good this year. It was like a 25x. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Bro, he crushes text. I'm such a mo. I can't even text right now. I got to get the A2P blah 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 thing. I'm having trouble.
Yep.
Are you texting?
No.
You're not texting?
So we started. Here's the irony, right? So I had that conversation with Phil, and I'm like, man, you motherfucker. I'm like, I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I got to get back into it. Like, my God. And I did. I got set back up and everything. And like you said, going through all the registration and everything, because we created multiple accounts. So I had multiple entities for each of the accounts and everything. And like a month later, when we were finally up and running, literally like we were operating for a week when the real big slap happened, and, you know, all the additional regulation was put into place and everything. And all the platforms started getting shut down and everything. I'm like, my God. Irony.
They don't want. It's not a good one.
And I understand.
They don't
want. For what it's worth, years ago, I kind of saw the writing on the wall then. I really didn't think it would last this long. I didn't think people would still be doing it today. I thought it was going to get, you know, shut down
a minute ago.
Years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they have such a problem with it, but they don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
Yeah. A lot of people getting sued, and, well, maybe, you know, it happens.
Tim told me that, man, if you're really getting after it, you're gonna get sued.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's the nature of the beast.
It is what it is. Are you okay with getting sued?
I've been to court before.
We'll leave it at that.
I know there's no winner in court, so hopefully,
you want to do everything you can to protect yourself. You know, you want to try to avoid that at all costs and everything. And that's why most people that bring something up anyway, it's like they settle out of court. Usually, most cases that I've heard, it's like somebody's threatening litigation. It's like, oh, pay me $1,500 and I'll go away.
I'm like, okay,
yeah. You know, fuck off, man.
Not me, you know.
You hate to do it, but those people are professionals, you know. It's so.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, man?
But some mail. Georgia mail. Okay, how much mail are you sending out?
So, 23 was a crazy, terrible year for me. Normally,
dude, I'm interested. Why?
Let's go.
Let's get into the sauce.
So, like 22, I was scaling up a lot and everything.
Okay.
I was hiring a lot of people. I was doing a lot of stuff, doing a lot of the right things over years and years and years of hiring mentors, being a masterminds, and I was working on really like for probably a 18-month period, I was laser focused on fucking leadership, scaling, systems and processes. Like that's it. Cause I had everything dialed in with like the marketing, everything was systematized enough to where it was a direct like science. There was math to it, right? It was just, I know that if I spend $1, I'm going to return 7. Like, okay. And I've scaled that up. I've scaled that back. And there's always a direct correlation. Cool. So now I can focus on scaling. And I was working on that for a long time. And then when was it? Man, I'm terrible with timelines. I bought my office like middle of 2022. And before that, we were in media. And we were always a in-person sales company, right? Okay. A lot of guys that run wholesale operations, whether they're a solopreneur or have a team, a lot of guys just operate virtually, right? I liked having an office, being in an office, which a lot of it really comes down to me, because I can't really work from home. Right, of course. Y'all got to come to the office. So what? Come to the office. I'm at the office, right?
Walk if not.
Do what you got to do, right? Our generation's too soft. That's a sidebar. But yeah, so like I bought the office mid-year and I anticipated there was going to be like a 10-week rehab or something like that. Like it needed renovation. It was a shithole. So it was April or May that I closed on it. So I thought that giving our old landlord at our old office, I told him we'd be out by the end of the year. I thought, no problem, right? I'm going to have plenty of time to move furniture and do all this stuff. Like, we'll be good. Bro, we didn't end up getting our permits for the office until like first or second week in December. Then it's like you got the holidays. So now I'm sweating it because it's like I just scaled up like crazy. I hired a bunch more salespeople. I had more people on the admin side. And we've always been an in-person company. Now, it's like, it's the first of the year. We got to be out of the old place. I got to store all our fucking office furniture and everything. I'm trying to get the renovation done at the new office because now everybody's working from home. And I'm, pedal to the metal. Like, I didn't sleep from, like, December till, like, April, man. Like, no bullshit. Like, working 7 days a week, like, 18 hours a day. I had a couch in my office. I would take naps on the couch, and I was trying to get the renovation done, helping my GC get shit done while I'm trying to manage and still run my wholesale company in the interim. And I had other flips going on. Like, it's kind of the wheels fell off of everything at the same time, So that was fun.
That's how it always happens. It all comes at once.
It's crazy, man. Like, over the years, like, I've been involved in real estate for like 9 years now. And plenty of shit's gone wrong. Like, really, there's almost nothing that I do that everything goes right. Like, that's very rare, right? I almost think like Murphy's Law is written after me sometimes, and whatever, it is what it is, But it was like this time, it was, for what it's worth, like my rentals a couple times have bailed me out. Like when I was going through cash flow struggles with the fix and flip company or even the wholesale company or whatever, it's like I always knew that at the end of the day, I got my cash flow of my rentals that I can fall back on, right? It's like cash sucks for a couple months because I'm growing or I try a new thing, whatever. It's like at least I got that. Bro, at like this same time, we ended up turning over like 65% of our rentals and everything. So our vacancies through the roof. And it's like, all right, each turnover is a lot of money. None of them were really, there was probably one that was that expensive. But most of them, it's like, all right, still just doing paint, carpet, and, some little minor odds and ends. It's like, yeah, you're spending at least $5,000 on each one. So it's like, all right, we had whatever, 12, 13 tenants move out all at the same time when that's going on. So it was a fun year, man. It was, I'm happy I made it out. I made it out.
I'll tell you, I'm happy you made it out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And so all you people in person?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Break this down for me. How is this all structured?
How is it structured? What do you mean? Like, who's in the company? So right now I have 2 full-time acquisitions guys. I just brought in a new guy that hopeful that he'll kind of be able to be like kind of trying to groom him to be like a COO, honestly, but gotta go up through the ranks and, work in acquisitions a little bit, understand our systems, understand our processes, not to be an acquisitions rep, right?
Yeah,
but like to
how to manage
understand
them.
how we do everything, you know?
Exactly.
Then I have one dispo manager and an assistant.
Oh man, okay.
But before I went through all those changes, I got up to 12 people, you know. So after we got in the office and everything started settling down, I downsized a little bit. I lost our sales manager. That was kind of a kick in the nuts at the time.
I bet.
You know, in many ways. But, you know, kept on keeping on. And
Hell yeah.
so my numbers for last year were not flattering, but I did do a couple flips, you know, and
Made up for it.
we made up for it. You know.
All right.
A year of growth.
And you manage you manage your sales people. You manage the acquisition people.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, so that's the thing. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But when I lost my sales manager March of last year, then it was like, oh, you know, yeah. Now I got all this other stuff going on, and I got to go back into being a manager as well. You know, so
Managing's tough, man.
it is, man. It is, and I say all the time, like, it's not a cop out because I do work on it, but I believe that I'm a good leader and terrible manager. And I think there's a strong delineation between the two.
Yeah, that's very. I know that. It's very insightful.
It's not the same.
Good leader, bad manager. It's
Yeah.
not the same. I don't want to have to manage anybody. It's a pain.
Right. Look, not for nothing. It's hard enough managing yourself, right?
Yeah, I don't want to. I know what you mean, man. Let me so you get so let's say you send these mailers out.
Yep.
And you get a call. Your acquisitions people don't get the initial call.
They do.
Do they?
They do.
Oh, so
They do.
calls go right to these humans.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not used to.
VAs. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And I should have said that too. I do have 2 other VAs that are kind of working as like follow-up type of role, like re-engaging leads that are already in our system and everything.
All right.
So yeah.
Are you doing any other marketing but mailers? Mailers, you just tripling down on the mail.
Yeah. Right now, just mail. Just mail. Just mail.
That I dig that.
And that's the thing, you know, again, back to 2022 when we were balls to the wall. It's like I was running TV, I was running pay-per-click, I was running everything, you know, I was running everything, you know, we were spending 40 to 60,000 bucks a month, any given month.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just last year, it's hard for me to even give numbers because everything was so fucked up last year.
It probably changed a bunch.
Yeah, exactly. I pulled the plug on a bunch of different things, started new things, right? So, you know,
hell yeah,
it's chaos. It's chaos.
What do you think you're spending this on a month right now?
Right now, I'm about 10 to 15.
Okay, all right. You scaled it back and chopped down a lot of fat.
Yeah. I gotta, you know, rebuild a lot of things that I did have in place.
Bro,
you know,
hell yeah. But I think it's gangster that you're doing it.
Look, you know, it's not sexy. You know, it's not sexy.
That's okay.
It is what it is.
Oh.
I'm still here,
man.
For what it's worth, man. I know a lot of big time players that exited. You know,
a lot of people got out of the game.
A lot.
Just since I got in it, and I haven't even been in it too hot. I've been in it for a cup of coffee.
Yep.
And I've seen a lot of people that were relatively higher volume.
Better guys doing well over 100 deals a year that pulled the plug and everything. So,
man,
you know, and one of the things that was weird to me, right? Like being in these masterminds and everything, like I started to hear about, you know, changes in the market and everything. And obviously I saw what was going on economically and everything. And I was seeing dudes that I respected around the country and, you know, they're like, our flips are sitting longer. We're not making as much money. We can't acquire as well as we used to on dispo for the wholesale side. You know, like we're not getting as good offers. A lot of buyers are pulling out. So I started seeing people walking away, right? And I saw that and I heard it and it made sense to me, but I wasn't seeing the correlation in my business. Like when we were at our most rapid growth and scaling and I was hiring people like left and right, everybody else was pulling out. So it was a really weird feeling because I also couldn't pinpoint what we were doing well that others weren't. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I am definitely no smarter than a lot of these guys, right? You know, it's like, these dudes are awesome and they've been at it for way longer than me. So it was a really eerie feeling because what we had was still working, but I didn't fucking know why, you know? Okay. So that was weird. But then it was kind of not really the market that slowed me down and messed me all up. It was external forces in a lot of ways, right? But now it's like, okay, well, middle of last year. Now I'm trying to ramp everything back up, scale everything back up, bring in new team, bring in new people and everything. And now obviously we have the market fighting against us and everything, but you know, we'll be back. We'll be back to the volume we were.
How long do you think it'll take you to back spending 40, 50?
I don't know that I want to go back to spending 50 grand a month in 24.
Okay.
Not in 24. Really right now, like if we can stay around, like I'll probably go back up to like 20 to 30, but I don't want to be up in that 50 grand a month range
too much
right now. It's not even that it's too much. It's that I still do have a few other things that I'm working on, right? It's like got some software stuff now and everything, which was kind of a crazy side project at first, but now it's not as much of a side project. Now it's like a real thing. Yeah, it's a real thing.
I dig that.
So, you know, I want to not go balls to the wall and not have any mental energy to allocate into other things, you know?
Hell yeah, bro. It's bandwidth is important.
Bandwidth is really important.
I know you got a family, you got kids, and you got to be a dad too. Everyone only has a certain amount of bandwidth.
Yeah. And I'm terrible at it. Like time management and everything. It's like my wife gets on me all the time, but she knows very well that I don't have fucking time management, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I'll be starting something, whatever the hell it is, right? I'm like, I'll be done this in 20 minutes and I'll be on my way home, right? And she knows 20 minutes usually means like, well, it could be 20, but it's probably 3 hours, you know? It's whatever, you know?
Does your wife play a role in your business at all?
She played a much bigger part before my son was born. So he's 2 now. I made my wife quit her job when we had our middle child. So that was, she just turned 6. So 6 years ago, and just be a stay-at-home mom and help with some of the stuff with the business. So for the longest time, that really looked like for her, she was managing all our apartments when we had turnover, market the property, finding new tenants, stuff like that. And just any other little stuff that I might need help with, right? Utility companies, right? Like any sort of crap like that for flips, you know, insurance accounts, setting that stuff up. But
you gotta have the right woman. You gotta, fellas, you gotta have the right woman. Oh my goodness,
bro, talk about cheat code, like, you know,
for real. I dig that.
It's huge. It's huge.
Heck yeah, my lady plays a similar role.
Yeah,
with me.
That's beautiful.
I'm super blessed for real. So I know how you feel. It is super nice,
dude. Yeah, it's so important, you know, and like I feel bad when I'm talking to somebody that not only doesn't have that, but they say that their spouse or significant other is like a drain on them, like mentally and emotionally. Because it's like, how the hell am I supposed to operate anywhere near like my peak potential when not only do I not have the support of the person that I'm with, but they're kind of dragging me down even further. It's like, yo, I don't know. My only advice to that is just get out, right?
I would
get
never
out
live like that. That's crazy.
Brutal. Because that's the thing, man. It's like, I know that everything on the home front, she's got it, right? Like, I never have to worry about anything with the home life, with the kids, with their activities, right? And I try to make it to all the games that I can and everything and all this stuff, you know. I'm very cognizant of that, right? Because I do work a lot still. It's just kind of how I'm wired, right? But I try to be there for everything, but I don't have to worry about it. Not having to worry about it for me is massive.
No, I get that for sure.
It's huge.
I work a lot too, but I don't have an office. I'm just in my house.
So, what do you think about that?
About what?
About working at your place?
Dude, I fucking love it.
Yeah?
I'm not the guy that's going to go to an office.
Okay.
I literally live here, so I can just have my whole life here and never leave. Like, I really don't leave, bro.
Well, I mean, this is dope. I probably wouldn't leave either.
Yeah, bro. I have a homebody. I don't want to go to the office, bro. I don't want to be sitting home in my robe. Fucking my lady makes me lunch every day. Like, what are you talking about? I don't need to be.
I love it, man.
So I can get a lot done in my house. I enjoy it. I want to be by myself.
I dig it.
And I am very selective about who I give, like, not to sound too crazy, my emotional deposits to.
I get it.
And like, I've had employees in person. Like, man, the other summer I had 3-4 college interns that were my little warriors. And bro, I don't really want to be. I'm too old to be dad. I got my own kids. Or like,
how old are you?
Or like big brother. I'm 31, but I got kids.
Yeah, you're too old. You're too old for all that shit.
No. Or they at least, I just don't want to deal with it, you know. And you kind of got to play that role if that's how you're going to be. Like, I don't want to be like the teen. Like, that's just not who I am. You know, it's too much of a drain on me. One of them is still like kind of interns for me, or like works part time for me, and I can handle that. And I fucking love the kid. Oh my goodness, I wish I was half of his smarts and where he's at.
Really?
I mean, when I was his age, he's going to be great. So he's around, but I don't like having a whole team. I got VAs right now, and if I can build the whole thing with virtual assistants, I would be delighted if possible.
So what do you think the difference is between virtual assistant or, you know, somebody like you're talking, whether it's in person or not? Like, what do you think from a management or leadership perspective is the difference?
My experience is, the cost is so much cheaper.
Okay.
It's they're not comparable. I think the cost is so much cheaper. It's unreal. But again, I
agree.
I am only in outbound marketing. I don't really. Phil says that direct mail is not inbound marketing; it's passive aggressive marketing. And I look at it as inbound marketing, and I'm trying to get with where you are. I'd fucking die. I'd be so happy to be spending 15 a month. But bro, as soon as I close my first deal, make 25 grand, bro. I'm just gonna. Cool. My budget for mail is going to go up at least to like 7 a month. You know what I mean? And then slowly build it. But all my people are just cold callers.
Yeah.
You know, to get an American cold caller, like the $1 per hour wouldn't justify it. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to give them a commission, like your turnover is going to be super high if they're just commission.
Yep.
And it doesn't make any sense, bro. It's crazy to do.
I get it.
So I'm trying to. So I got these virtual assistants. One of them I'm about to promote to manager. He's going to manage the rest of the cold callers, so I don't have to manage them anymore. Right now, I'm managing the cold callers. I got this one guy, Hassan, who I'm in love with, and he's going to manage them.
Love it.
And then I just have to only talk to Hassan. I only want to have to talk to 1 or 2 dudes.
Got it.
You know? And then I do the dispo. So I calculate the deal, the offer price of the deal.
Yep.
And I do the dispo. And then I have these 2 independent contractors that go to the appointments for me. But all my prices are already discussed with the seller before they go.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Mail's new to me, so I don't know the process for mail. And bro, oh my goodness. I mainly deal with like tired landlords and absentee owners. Mm-hmm. They're not usually super distressed. Like with that, you're really just looking for pricing errors. I've had 2 appointments for the mailers, and it's not the same thing at all. So
really? That's interesting.
They were distressed people, so there was chaos.
Okay.
You know? And it's just not the same thing. There's no chaos with the absentee owners usually that I see.
I get what
comparison, you know.
I get what you mean, but that's not a function of the marketing method. That's more a function of the demographic or the list that you're targeting.
Yes,
right?
No, exactly. I'm targeting it. George told me to go after all the free lists in Philly, all the public data lists, because nobody uses them.
Okay,
so that's what I'm doing. The clean and seal list, the like the code violation list. That's what I got going on right now.
Gotcha.
And who knows?
Maybe
I should do them all, but you're telling me
I don't love Philly, so
yeah. Well, I'd like to go a little bit more in the suburbs because you get a bigger bang for your buck.
True.
So,
true.
I switched up my neighborhoods. I'm in nice neighborhoods now in Philly. Hopefully that'll do. I'm doing a lot in the Northeast and in South Philly.
Okay.
Instead of like the hood.
Gotcha.
I can't get a 30 grand assignment if I'm South.
No. Well, that's the thing, and it's like my experience in the city anyway, which I never targeted like with mail or anything in Philly at all. Like every deal that I've ever done in the city was from like TV when we were running commercials and everything. But dude, I'll tell you, it's like probably 80% of the deals that we put under contract had massive, like unclearable title. Like just the issues were fucking ridiculous. You know? And it's like way more than anywhere else that we do business, you know?
Title's a dirty. God. I call that leakage. Leakage. Every business has leakage, and man, in Philly, that's a main source of leakage, bro. Let's say you get 5 deals, like all set up, assigned, this and that, you're good to go, bro. One of them, there's no way the titles are gonna be good. It's not possible.
And it was weird for us because like our process was always cool. As soon as we get a contract, like we're immediately marketed out as dispo, right? It's like we're not submitting it to title even until we dispo and line up a buyer and we got everything lined up, right? So we would lock up these contracts in Philly, and next day we got a buyer. We're getting whatever it is, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 rip, and you know title falls out on like 80% of them, it's like, oh man, this sucks, you know?
Yeah. It's heartbreaking.
It really is. It really is.
It's heartbreaking.
But, you know, a lot of people make a lot of money in the city, so.
Yeah, they do. But you can make money anywhere.
Of course.
If you're smart, you can make money anywhere.
Of course, man. Of course.
Heck yeah. So then your acquisition manager, they go out and see these houses?
So our thing has really been like since way before COVID to try to just get the contract on the phone before even going out to the appointment and everything. And then COVID just kind of helped that out even more, you know.
You're getting so deep that you know it's a deal.
Oh,
so like,
yep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's the way that I usually like, because I have two guys right now that are newer in sales, right? So the way that I always train is like, yo, if you come to me to analyze a deal and you're telling me about the property and you're telling me how big it is and you're telling me how many beds and baths and the condition, I'm like, go get back on the fucking phone. Like, I don't care about the property. I can pull that up online. I want to know about the situation. I want to know what's going on. I don't care about the property. We care about the situation, right? Because one of the first things that we tell our sellers is like, yeah, if you want top dollar, you should go list this thing. You're only working with us if you don't want to do that, right? 100%.
So man, tell me more about this phone action, because the calls are different. So you, like, I guess that's smart. With the sellers, I never asked about why they're selling. I know why they're selling. They're fucking retired. They're tired landlords, most of the people.
Well, so you may know that, like, as a big picture, but there's something deeper.
Yeah, but now that I'm going into mailing different lists, though, I think that's smart. So you don't ask them too much about the house. You just fucking.
When we're asking about the house, it's really just kind of to open up the conversation, because if you just start a conversation with somebody and they don't see you, they don't really know who you are or anything, and you're like, hey, what's going wrong in your life right now? They're gonna be like, fuck you, dude. I don't know you.
Yeah.
You know. So it does usually start with some stuff about the property, and then just asking open-ended questions and kind of going deeper into the conversation to understand what's really going on. You know, because really, like, in the first couple minutes of the conversation, we're doing everything possible to disqualify. Hey, do you want to sell? Yes or no? If yes, okay. Well, why are you thinking about selling? Well, you know, because you called me. All right, you know, they still got the walls of defense up and everything. Okay, that's fine. Have you thought about listing it? Well, no, I don't really want to do that, because whatever they say is like, okay, well, that is one of the reasons that people sell to us, you know, and the trade-off is you're not going to get top dollar. If you want top dollar, here's how you do it. But you already listed the 3 or 4 things that you don't like about that, right? So if you want that, there's how you do it. If you want this that I can offer you, here's what that looks like, you know?
Okay. That's smart. I think that. And it helps build a ton of trust. If you tell them, no, go do something else. You don't want to, you don't want with me.
Yep. And by the way, we'll help you. We're probably going to start doing some more like actual listing stuff this year as well. Like, I really don't want to. I don't want to at all. Like, my philosophy for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, even when we have something that the seller does tell us, yes, I want to sell. Yes, my house is beautiful. Yes, I'm good with dealing with everything that you would with a traditional listing. We would literally not refer it. We're not trying to convert it to a listing. We're just like, okay, check a box and follow up with them in 6 months. And now, for what it's worth, there's been at least a dozen of them that fit that box, right?
Yeah.
They're beautiful houses, no motivation, no distress or anything, that we followed up with for months and months and months. And they did end up selling to us, and it was a wholesale deal.
Good.
So that was my philosophy. I'm like, why the hell would I refer this to somebody so they can send me whatever, $500, $1,000 or something for them getting the listing, when I can just keep it in our funnel? We already have systems and processes for follow-up, and it could turn into a $20 or $30 or $40,000 deal. Made more sense to me, you know?
That's smart.
Yep. But different market now, so I'm considering doing stuff like that now. We'll see. Like, we're doing some novations and stuff, but you know, it's in my mind, it's like, well, cool. If we really are a one-stop shop, it's like, hey, if you want top dollar, here's my product that I have for you. If you don't want to deal with any of that, I have this cash offer for you, and with that, I can give you the highest level of certainty that it's going to get done. We can do it on your timeline, whatever. Like, everything's covered. And if you want something in the middle of the road, it's kind of more like a novation type of offer, right?
All right. You doing a lot of novations? I
Not
did.
a lot.
I did
We've
one.
done
and
a dozen.
I was very happy. It's a cool thing to do.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah, it
flex.
is.
In our little world, it's a flex, I think.
It is. It is. Well, I think that's the thing is like, as things change or get harder or whatever it is, it's like, well, you have to change to be able to adopt, you know, the new market, right? Yeah. Be able to bring in revenue however necessary, you know, when you're dropping 10, 15, 20,000 bucks a month on mail or whatever it is, it's like, yeah, man, I need to bring in the revenue. Need to keep the lights on. I need to keep my VAs fed. Don't want to lose my guy that I'm in love with and he's managing the rest of the team. Got to keep him busy.
Shit. Yeah, but I love pressure. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I.
But I know when I started with I wasn't spending anything. Man, I got my monthly nut up to like 5 racks.
Beautiful.
Well, I'm just gonna keep climbing it up. So I added mail into the mix. Maybe I'm probably closer to 6 right now.
Okay.
I added mail into the mix, but I'm only spending like $1,500 a month, maybe closer to 2 racks a month on mail. As soon as I get my first one, bro, I'm just taking all that, and then I'm not like all that is new marketing money, and then I can start playing at a fun level.
Yep.
You know.
So let me ask you this. So like, what do you have a vision in mind right now of like what the level of volume looks like? Do you want to do, or what the revenue number looks like, or?
Yeah. So I've been kind of like I've been volume. So like let's say I'm doing 5 deals a month or 6 deals a month. They're not bang assignments. It's not like I'm doing 20, 30 rack assignments every single time. Like that's super rare for me.
Okay.
They're usually between 5 and 10 usually. Generally speaking. And so I'm really more interested about increasing my average spread per deal. You know, and to do that, I need to get a higher motivation level, I think. At least in my mind, I do. And I got to do better marketing, you know? So I got to be, cold calling is great, but I got to be spending the big boy bucks with the fucking, it's cheap. And you get what you pay for. So I got to be spending the big boy bucks. So that's what this year is about, spending the big boy bucks. Good money on marketing, so maybe I don't have to deal with this. So because with cold calls, it's a million leads that you're funneling down into like a couple of things and still a lower spread, you know, rather than inbound. If we're talking outbound versus inbound, so this year I'm trying to get my monthly nut up to where I'm doing mainly a lot of inbound marketing. I'm still going to keep the cold call going. But,
Okay.
Man, that's 2024 for me. Building my nuts, so mail, and then maybe one other thing. You know,
You brought up another good point though, like with doing cold call or anything like that, anything that is high volume, low quality, right?
Yeah.
That's how I viewed the Third Notice postcards as well, right? For me, that was high volume, and really it was still a low quality lead, because a lot of people that call in, they're not even necessarily aware that we're trying to buy the house, right? They're calling because they're like, oh, I got this letter in the mail and I don't know what the hell it is, right? They don't even know that we're trying to buy their house yet. So that's a very low quality lead, but it is high volume, right? So I think one of the best things about doing high volume anything is it forces you to create systems and processes and team around. And if you already have systems and processes and team in place, you already have the foundation for when you start dumping more money into mail. Because the last thing you want to do is put money into anything and not have good systems or processes, bad lead management, and you got a lot of leaky buckets, right? So it forces you, when you have that volume, you have the repetition and everything to put all them things in place.
Which is good. That's smart.
It's a beautiful thing. Yep.
I dig that. And I had some systems, but I'm doing a lot of them myself.
You have some what?
I got some systems, but a lot of it I'm doing myself. When I'm newer into this little team building thing. You know?
I get it. I get it.
It's tough with the systems. I'm nuts, you know.
Look, it's hard, and so am I, right? It's funny that I have the systems and processes that I do, because like the way that I operate in pure fucking chaos. Not only can I operate like that, that's how I thrive, and I'm good. but I also knew that you can't build a company that way, right? So,
Yeah, the rest
like,
of them aren't gonna.
dude, even building out my CRM 5 or 6 years ago, it's like it was painful to me, right? Like to have every action kind of mapped out. If this, then that. If this, then that. You know, like lead comes in. What is the automated like follow up sequence? What's the cadence? What's the messaging? Like
Did you have
building all that out.
with all with any of the automation
Setting all that stuff up originally? No. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of trying to find someone that can just help me help me with that.
Look, in hindsight, I should have found somebody. I should have paid them and everything.
Yeah,
the best use
I
of
think
my
it.
time.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm getting better and better at that. The older that I get, that guy, you know what? Nah, fuck that. I can't. That's not my job, bro.
Yup.
It'll take me a month.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other side of it, what I will say, knowing myself, and usually that is how I handle things. It's like, if I can't find somebody that is an expert or is in my price range that I can freaking afford to do something, because if you find somebody tomorrow that's like, Nick, I will set this shit up for you. I will build it out. Give me 250 grand. You're gonna be like, nah, never mind. I think I'm gonna figure it out, right? So. Many things that I've done in the past is like, well, maybe I couldn't afford it, or maybe I didn't know the person, so I dove headfirst into it and figured it out. But I find, like, with the way that I am and the way that I learn, when I do something that way, like, I understand it at such like a deeper level that now when I do put somebody in place to manage that system or that process or that job, if we're talking about contractors, right? It's like, now I understand it better, so I'm able to manage it better. Nobody's going to be able to fuck me over because I kind of understand all the pieces. I know what goes into it. I know what needs to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's slowed me down in a lot of ways on a lot of things in the past, but it served me well too. So it's a blessing and a curse.
Hey, double-edged sword.
That's the truth. It's the truth.
A lot of things are a double-edged sword.
Many things. Many things.
Heck yeah. I appreciate that.
Dig it, brother.
Hell yeah.
What else? You got anything else?
Do I got anything else? I got a lot.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Hey, I got a long sleeve. I got things up my sleeve. Yeah.
You got this beautiful outfit, man.
You like the suit?
And you dress way too awesome. Like, I'm not cool, man. Like, flannel and jeans,
That's okay.
It's
cool to you.
It's really not that cool. I just don't care that much.
Oh, see, same thing. Bro, I want to look nice, but I can't deal with the stress of picking out something I'm not good at it. So I just wear a tracksuit every day. I just what color, and that's when I went on.
I dig it. That's what's up. Do you shop for yourself though? Or does your girl do it?
I do that. Yeah, my lady does it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do those kind of. I'm good, bro. Heck yeah, I don't do those kind of things.
Yep.
But hell yeah, I'm trying to get in the mail with just like y'all are. So as soon as I get my first deal, I'm gonna send a text out to everybody. Hey guys, I'm playing with y'all now.
Well, see, and so that's one of the reasons that I asked that question. Like, do you already have like an idea of level of revenue or number of deals or whatever it is? Because
I'm assuming that if I do it right, I'll at least 4 to 5 times my money. My guess. If I do it super average, I'll probably 4 times my money. If I'm super good at it, then I can do a little bit more. But that's what I'm guessing.
Yep.
So in the beginning, bro, just like fucking anything. When I get so as of right now at least, when I get these calls in I only got like 5 callbacks my first drop, and I just took every single fucking one of the calls.
Mm-hmm.
So once I like have an actual like full process with it, because they're different calls, the ones that my team makes, that once I do my first deal through it, then I'll probably have somebody that's just dedicated to that.
Yep.
When like I'm gonna take that money and fucking spend it good. I'm gonna get someone that's just gonna deal with that, and I'm gonna, instead of spending fucking $1,400 or $1,600 a month or whatever in the mail, I'll fucking spend at least 5.
Yeah.
And do like an actual fun amount.
Yep.
And then the return on that, if I'm 4 times my money on that, it's gonna be a lot better, bro.
A lot better. But see, like, I have seen way too many times, like, especially with people that end up like joining a mastermind for the first time or whatever.
Yeah.
They see everybody else, and I was the same way, right?
Yeah.
You get in and it's like, oh, well, I see all these guys that are doing $5 million a year, $10 million a year, got all these parallel companies, right? It's like, oh, we'll hit 300 deals a year and then started doing, selling turnkey or, scaling a fix and flip company or whatever it is, right? And you see that, and it's like, wow, that's the next level, right? That's the next step. That's where I want to go. I want to be that guy. Like, that's awesome. And you start chasing it. And for me, I still like am on that path, like, because I kind of know what I want and I know how to get there and everything. But I've seen a lot of people that they think that that's the next step for them, when really what their goal was I want to be able to make 20 or 30 grand a month and be able to go on as many vacations a year as I want. And, you know, like a lot of like that lifestyle stuff is contradictory to scale, right? So, you know, if you want to be able to get to 5 million a year, if you want to get to 10 million a year and build other companies and everything, it's like, that's a totally different lifestyle and desire and level of really fucking insanity and intensity that you got to be committed to. Yeah. Right. So I've seen people like try to mimic what others are doing and end up making more money, but be pretty upset with
the quality of life. And
with everything else. Cause it's like, all right, I'm making more money, but I'm less happy than I used to be, you know? Worth it. So it really comes down to just kind of defining what it is that you think that you want. Cause none of us really know anyway, right? We're all kind of just that dog chasing the car down the street, right? Trying to at least reflect on what is it that I believe that I want and what's the most logical approach to get there.
Okay. Yeah.
Reverse.
I believe I want 100 racks a month, but I got to at least get to 50 racks a month first, you know? I'm in like 20. I'll tell you what, I'd be a lot happier at least 50. So I'm trying to hurry up and get to 50 and then reevaluate, you know, and exactly like how I want to go from there. But ultimately, I still want to I want to scale back and back and back and back, no matter what, regardless of what that is. So that I'm only working on it, not in it, you know?
I get it, and almost everyone says has that.
Everyone says,
right? It's like because that's an easy thing to say, not an easy thing to do. And by the way, it's very easy to sell products or a lifestyle to somebody that says, "Well, I want to have more freedom." It's like, okay, well, I'll show you how to do it. You know. But it's a lot harder to achieve. And it's funny though, like if you think about it, like how many other industries do you know of where people are like, yeah, I want to be able to make whatever. I want to be able to net $1 million a year, but I don't want to have to work that hard. And I don't want to have to be involved. I want to be able to go on vacation for 2 or 3 months and not have the thing fall apart.
It's not crazy.
It doesn't happen, right? It's like,
in our world, it's not weird to say.
It's not weird to say, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know too many people that have mastered that. You know, I know people that are really, really, really crushing and making more money than I can wrap my mind around, but they're also hustling, right?
Hell yeah, they're hustling. But I'll tell you what, with wholesaling, you can make a couple hundred racks, a couple hundred racks a year without having any function as a solo. If you want, if you want to be a solopreneur and just hustle and be a fucking mo, then dude, you could make good money. You know,
and that's my point, right? Like a lot of guys, they are a solopreneur and they're like, cool, next step is team, right?
And then they do it, and then they say, fuck that.
Not only like, am I unhappy because I don't like managing, I don't like leading people, I don't like recruiting, I don't like any of this stuff. But a lot of times when you first start that and you hire your first couple people, you're setting up systems, you're making less money too. Like you're putting less money in your pocket,
bro. It was very
You slow down,
dude. Fucking 100%. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And I went in 23. I went from no expenses to 5 racks a month just immediately. And bro, if I was making the same amount of money, the same amount of revenue was coming in, I'm just making 5 less racks a month. I was like, oh, fucking shit, right? It makes me a fucking difference. You know,
it's a big difference.
Like every single time in 2023, something bad. Like there was 1 or 2 different. I just like anyone. I had 1 or 2 months where I was like, oh fucking bro, I really wish I didn't have to pay this. I'm a little stressed right now. I could use that extra funds. You know?
Yeah, man.
And it's easy to just say, fuck it, bro. I'd make more money with myself and these people are VAs, Cs. So I get why a lot of people do it, but I already sucked it up for a whole year.
You already did it, yeah.
I mean, and now like that 5 that I'm spending, like. Bro, I don't even notice it because it's adjusted, and you know what I mean. And so like, you know, we're all normal now. bro. So I just know that as I up my ad spend, I just gotta to fucking deal with it for a quarter or two until it fucking evens out, and then I'm back to normal.
Yep.
You know, you just have to be disciplined. I think most people that are getting into wholesale is because they're fucking not disciplined.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's super
that's a big piece of
and
it,
they're
man.
super dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Like super dysfunctional. There's no barrier of entry. So there's a lot of goofballs.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah. So I believe in myself.
Well, look, you got to, you know?
Yeah.
And there's so much potential, and it's awesome that you're doing it. You're making it happen, you know? How many people do you know that say that they want to do something but don't actually put in the work, don't put in the effort, aren't meeting people, aren't connecting with people, you know? It's everything is already out there. The information's already out there, you know? Like, people complain about the cost of mentorship or coaches or programs or whatever. It's like everything already is for free on YouTube. There are ways to streamline the process, right? Look, I'm a big believer in mentors and coaches, right? Like, I've spent, I don't even know how much, way over $250,000, right?
I'm enjoying this collective genius because
good, man.
Mark Murray is one of my fucking boys. He's a good friend of mine. And he keeps telling me, Nick, you're an idiot. You need to join Collective Genius.
Yep. It's good, man. It's great being around other people, you know, just like this, but times 100, right? It's like you're talking to 100 people that are crushing it at whatever it is in whatever market they're in and everything, just bouncing ideas. And, you know, it's just like the age-old adage of the 5 people that you spend most time with, you're going to be just like them, right? Hang around with 5 millionaires, you're going to be the next. Hang around with 5 losers, you're going to be the next. Yeah, man, you know?
Hell yeah. I think that's true, bro. But, Drew, before we wrap this sucker up, do you have any like parting advice for me?
Parting advice?
Do you have any, you know, a little bit about my little setup? What advice do you have, if any, before we wrap this up?
I think we kind of talked about a lot of it. I think my advice would really be kind of search deeper within yourself as to like, so you said you want to get to $100,000 a month. It's like, why, you know? Because when you understand that deeper, because it's like, well, we throw out these numbers, and that was one of mine as well, right? It's like, I had a mentor a couple years ago that he was doing $100,000 a month. So in my mind, I'm like, I got to get to $100,000 a month and everything, right? But really, there was nothing behind that. There was no substance, right? It was a number. I kind of pulled it out of my ass. I'm like, I think it sounds cool and everything. But there was no need, which meant there wasn't really as much of a desire to make that happen. And I got there anyway. But it's like, if there was a necessity behind it, or there was a driving meaning or purpose behind it, it would have been a hell of a lot easier, and I would have done it a lot faster, right? If it's like, you know, if that number is because, oh, well, I need to send my 3 kids to private school and it's going to cost, you know, $15,000 a month for each of them, you know, and I got to have living expenses, and I got to do this. They got to go. It's like, you're going to hit it, you know? So I like really understanding what it is that you want to do and why, the meaning behind it. Because look, at the end of the day, how many times have you dealt with sellers or buyers or anybody, right, that everything about the deal sucks? It's a pain in the ass. Like, a lot of what we do, like, I love a lot of what I do within my company.
A lot of what we do is fucking
don't, man.
Dude, it's
a lot of it sucks.
It's crazy.
Right? So there's got to be a really strong reason, because if not, you know, like, it's really easy to be like, okay, well, maybe I don't need to hit $100,000 a month. Maybe I can dial our marketing back and everything. So just get laser focused on what it is and why you want to do it, you know?
Okay, I will tell you, the focus for now, I need 50 a month. You know,
Okay.
The 100 month is a goal of mine. I need the 50 a month.
I dig it.
Like, for this to be worth it.
For it to be worth it.
To do all this. You know what I'm saying? Because with no stress or pressure, I can make 25 racks a month. Right. Not even, and just by myself. And like, it's fucking super simple to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so, my bad. But
No, you should.
If I'm going to be spending this money, if I'm going to do all this stuff, managing all these people, if I'm not making 50 a month, it's not. And also, like, lifestyle-wise, I need it because they tax the shit out of us to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. 50 racks a month. If you listen, 50 racks a month is not much money. Oh, my gosh.
After taxes, everything else.
It's really not. And then if you want to live for, God bless you.
Yeah, living expenses are ridiculous.
So I need 50, bro.
Yeah.
So,
I get it. But so that's what I was going to say is like, that was kind of one of the things that always kind of felt like a safety net to me as I was growing, as I was scaling, as I was hiring more people, buy an office, do all this stuff. In the back of my mind, I was always like, well, you know, if all else fails, I can go back to being a solo operator and I can easily make a couple $100,000 a year by myself, right? So that was kind of always like a peaceful thing that I had in the back of my mind, you know?
Of course.
Like, well, I know that I can do this on my own because I already did it, you know?
Yeah.
I already did it. This is why I was able to fund, you know, hiring people, going through growth, going through processes, going through all this stuff, buy a building, because I was really damn good on my own, right? So I know that I got that. So, because there's many times over the last 2 years, 3 years that I'm like, man, maybe I'm just not meant to be a leader. Maybe I'm not good enough, right? There's times where I've questioned myself. And I, you know, push through anyway and keep on keeping on. I'm still here doing it today, brother. But, you know.
Hey, do what about man Benny? Then Benny's got like a guy that just runs this whole little shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't have
He's a man, dude.
in my mind, that's a good setup. I think that's super gangster. But that one guy leaves, and then you got to take that role. You've experienced that, so there's there's good and bad about it.
Look, I've seen that on for myself and for other people as well. Like, you know, the guy that he's just a fix and flip guy, and he has one GC that is awesome, right? Knocks everything out of the park, great prices, great everything. It's with him for years. Then that guy, you know, goes to jail or whatever happens, right? And it's like, oh shit, my entire business is gone because you built it really on one person. You know, so there's a risk in that too, you know. Just got to be aware of all of the things. There's a lot of moving pieces and everything all the time.
Very, very true. Well, hell yeah. I appreciate the advice, my guy.
I appreciate you, brother.
Drew,
This is
thank
awesome.
you so much for coming on.
Hell yeah, man.
I love talking to you.
It's been great. Appreciate it.